Welcome to Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda. Today is the birthday when one of the most inspirational Christians I know turns 18 years of age. Now you might be quite surprised that for me, one of the most inspirational Christians I know of is only 18 years old. And also, I very nearly used a different phrase. I very nearly said that this young lady would celebrate her birthday, but I don't know how much she will have to celebrate today. I'm talking about a young Nigerian lady named Leah Sharibu. And Leah was kidnapped by Boko Haram, the Islamic terrorist group, in 2018. In February 2018, she was just 14 years old at the time. And she was in a school, and it was attacked by Boko Haram militants. Now, Boko Haram means education is forbidden. They don't like Western education being used in Nigeria, and particularly not for women and young girls. And so Boko Haram attacked the school. And the school had a mixture of students. Some were Christians, some were Muslim. The Christians, knowing what was happening, ran away. Most of the Christians were able to escape into the bush and to avoid being taken captive. But Leah stayed to nurse a sick friend, and that sacrifice meant that she, as a Christian, was carried off, mainly with other Muslim girls, into captivity. And there were 110 girls were kidnapped that day in February 2018. Now, 5 of those 110 girls died either immediately or in the next few days because they had a horrific journey through the bush to get to the militants' camp. 104 of the remaining girls were released shortly afterwards, which left only Leah held captive from that raid. The reason why she was held captive was because she was a Christian, and they said they would release her along with the other girls if she would renounce her faith and convert to Islam. And Leah refused to do so. That must have taken incredible courage. You know, those of us that are a lot older, I think, would still find it a dreadful situation to be kidnapped and told we could not be released unless we made a profession of faith to Islam. Some would maybe cross their fingers and say, well, it doesn't really matter what I say. I don't know. I pray I would have the faith to stand firm and not deny the name of Jesus. But for a 14-year-old girl, what an ordeal. And yet Leah refused to cave in and said, I will not renounce Jesus. As a result, she was kept in captivity initially. She was held with 2 other women. These women were Muslims who had been working for the Red Cross, and they were seen as apostates by the militants because they worked for an organization like the Red Cross. And so Leah was being held with these 2 other women, and the militants said that they wanted a ransom paid, otherwise they would kill all 3 of them. And they did kill one of the other women, but did not kill Leah and the other one, and they still have not been released. Next, they made a statement that Leah was going to be held in slavery for the rest of her life because of her refusal to embrace Islam. And Leah is still in captivity today, more than 3 years later. You know, we do know that she is still alive. There are reports still come out occasionally. And we do know also that Leah has given birth to 2 children during 2020. One at the beginning of the year and one at the end. And these were apparently fathered by a commander of the terrorists. So basically we are talking about child rape here. And yet this courageous young woman still refuses to renounce her faith in Jesus Christ. I pray for the release of Leah Sharibu, but I thank God for her faithfulness and her courage. And today, while I say this, yes, we should feel immense pity and compassion for Leah and pray for her, but she is also an inspiration. And that's why I described her as one of the most inspiring Christians alive today that I know of. If you'd like to know more about Leah and other prisoners of conscience, whether they're held by terrorist groups or by governments, then I'd encourage you to visit the website of our friends, Church in Chains, churchinchains.ie. And there you'll find more details about Leah and many other Christian prisoners of conscience. But please do pray for Leah today because this is her 18th birthday. And thank God for her courage and her faith, and be inspired by her. Thank you for joining us today. Please join us again next time for another Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda.